Part 1. For an endless era, humanity across the globe has worshipped milk as a perfect food. Parents in every corner of the world have passed down a familiar chorus. Drink your milk to grow tall and strong. Looking back in time, countless families believed that a glass of milk was the ultimate way to protect a child's health. This drink naturally became an inseparable piece of breakfasts at home and in schools. For many generations, people held a fierce belief that without this cloudy white liquid, the human body would lack the strength to survive daily life. However, the turning wheel of our modern era is rewriting the story of milk. If you step into a modern supermarket or surf the internet, you will instantly be surrounded by a maze of conflicting opinions. Half of the world still fiercely crowns milk as a superfood, claiming it is one of the greatest paths to absorb essential minerals. On the opposite side, an equally massive force labels it with a dark tag, the white poison. They present a challenging argument. Humans are the only creatures on Earth that consume the milk of another species, and they deeply believe this natural paradox is the root cause of countless diseases. Today, with just one click, you can easily unearth mountains of information supporting both sides of the battlefield. So who holds the ultimate truth? Decoding this question is a grueling puzzle. In the information age, one website might praise milk as the lifeline of health, while another platform condemns it as a culprit, spreading sickness. When bombarded by so many opposing ideologies, making a wise verdict about what we put into our bodies becomes a harsh trial. That is exactly why we must place a careful lens over modern science. Science never picks sides or compromises with baseless rumors. Instead, science is a journey to hunt down facts and ironclad evidence, to decode how the human machine operates. Throughout this journey, we will peel back the truth about milk. We will dissect the nutrients that placed milk on the throne, making it a helpful drink for countless people. At the same time, we will expose the medical troubles that some consumers endure when absorbing it. The big picture will clearly sketch the impacts of dairy on our bone structure, our skin, and even the ecological future of our entire planet. Furthermore, we will decode the powerful rise of plant-based drinks that are conquering grocery shelves today. One ultimate truth must be carved into your mind. Every individual is a unique universe. What is a magic cure for one person can absolutely be poison for another. By approaching the scientific lens with pure objectivity, you will learn how to listen to the subtle whispers from your own body. This understanding will be the compass helping you decide if milk is a healthy choice for your life, or if you must turn to a different path. Let us begin the journey to decode the most universal drink on the planet. Part 2. The pure value inside milk. Cow's milk harbors a vital resource of nutrients, playing a foundational role in building and maintaining human strength. Countless people place their absolute trust in this drink because it provides an incredibly easy route to load up on energy and essential minerals. The most famous mineral reigning inside milk is calcium. Calcium carries a massive mission, acting as the foundation blocks that construct the entire body. It is an undeniable element to forge strong teeth and maintain a solid skeleton. If deprived of the necessary calcium, the body will struggle to defend and maintain its bone structure as we drift toward old age. Beyond just calcium, milk is also a goldmine, providing high-quality protein. Protein is a crucial nutrient for every living being, but it becomes vital for those who desire to build or repair their muscle mass. When humans engage in physical training, their muscles suffer microscopic tears. The pure protein from milk instantly provides specialized tools for the body to automatically patch up these damages, making the muscles sharper and stronger over time. Thanks to this miraculous mechanism, countless professional athletes choose milk as their recovery drink right after exhausting workouts. It does not stop there. Milk generously provides a series of vital vitamins, ensuring the body machine always runs accurately. One of the most powerful factors is vitamin B12. This vitamin is the master key to maintain a sharp brain and boost the production of red blood cells. The cargo trains, delivering oxygen to every corner of the body. Without enough B12, a person can instantly fall into a deep pit of exhaustion and fatigue. Another extremely critical vitamin warrior, found in many types of milk, is vitamin D. Although our biological machine has the ability to synthesize some vitamin D by absorbing sunlight, the harsh reality is that many people are falling into a red alert because they lack this nutrient, especially during the cold and gloomy winter months. Vitamin D acts as a powerful commander for calcium. This nutrient grants permission for the body to fully absorb the extracted calcium from the food we consume. If vitamin D is absent, our biological machine will be completely powerless to utilize calcium, regardless of how many liters of milk you pour into your body. This perfect combination of protein, calcium, and a series of core vitamins has launched milk onto a pedestal, becoming a priceless food source. For many years, it provides a massive and dense volume of nutrition that is incredibly easy to access and consume in the rushing daily lives of almost everyone. Even though the world is still torn apart by countless conflicting views on whether humanity should keep consuming milk, one undeniable truth is that these specific nutrients are playing a highly positive role in human health. They are the solid foundation for bone toughness, muscle explosion, and maintaining an abundant life force of energy. This legacy of nutrition is the perfect explanation why countless civilizations have relied on milk as the core of their daily diets for centuries. Understanding the deep nature of these nutrients is the very first step to help you decide if milk is truly the perfect puzzle piece for your own health needs. Part 3. The curse named lactose. Although milk hides a giant treasure of nutrients, it accidentally pushes countless people into a tragic medical nightmare. The core knot of the problem lies in a natural sugar hidden inside dairy products, identified by science as lactose. To break down this sugar smoothly and safely, the human body machine must absolutely produce a specialized enzyme called lactase. During our early infant years, our body is a factory, running at full capacity, pumping out abundant lactase to fully digest mother's milk. However, as the biological wheel pushes us into adulthood, this enzyme production line is often suddenly suppressed, or even permanently shut down. This biological degeneration is a brutally common phenomenon across all continents. When an adult who lacks lactase intentionally consumes cow's milk, their body will completely collapse before the task of breaking down the sugar molecules. This medical condition is named by doctors as lactose intolerance. This is absolutely not an allergic reaction, but rather the collapse of the digestive system. When the lactose gets trapped inside the stomach, it instantly triggers a chain of haunting biochemical reactions. Victims frequently suffer sharp twisting pains in their abdomen just a short moment after drinking milk. They can also be tortured by bloating, making their stomach feel tight and stagnant. A series of other common symptoms begin to attack, including gas and diarrhea. This internal battle erupts simply because the body is struggling in pure desperation to process the alien sugar. For countless patients, this nightmare usually strikes within 30 minutes to 2 hours after consuming dairy products. The destructive level of these symptoms depends entirely on the volume of milk an individual consumes. A lucky few can drain a small glass of milk without a scratch, but others feel their bodies shatter after just one sip. A truth that must be stated: lactose intolerance is not a life-threatening disease, but it is certainly a ticking time bomb, causing extreme annoyance for daily life. Surrendering to these digestive troubles, countless adults have made the ultimate decision to completely reject traditional dairy products. They begin hunting for specialized milks that have the lactose completely stripped away, or they execute a strategic escape toward plant-based drinks. Understanding the resistance mechanism of your own body against lactose is the ultimate key to designing a wise nutrition strategy. If you feel the pain or the frustration invading after drinking milk, that is the warning siren from your body, screaming that it cannot tolerate that sugar easily You carry zero obligation to force yourself to swallow glasses of milk if it drains your body. The world out there is scattered with endless alternative methods for you to gather the full amount of vital vitamins and minerals without paying the price of torturing your stomach by listening to your body. You can absolutely dodge the punishing blow of lactose intolerance while still building a flawlessly balanced diet. Awakening to these natural, biological changes will empower every individual to make the most optimal verdicts for their own comfort and survival. Ultimately, it is just a journey to find the pieces that fit your body best, and knowing exactly when to bravely take a different path. Part 4. The truth about milk and bones. Throughout the length of history, parents have always planted an immortal belief into the minds of children. Drink milk to forge a diamond skeleton. This ideology has taken deep root on a global scale. The core reason feeding this belief is calcium. Calcium is a powerful mineral that our bodies crave to maintain a tough and untouchable frame, based on the premise that milk is a giant vault of this calcium. The vast majority of the public rushed to the conclusion that the more milk you pump in, the more solid your bones will become. However, modern science is placing a magnifying glass over this entire belief system with extreme caution and doubt. The latest breakthrough studies have sketched out a highly complex picture, although the truth remains that calcium is a foundation block for bone health. Pouring a massive volume of milk into your body does not mean you will own an immortal skeleton, immune to the risk of fractures. In fact, a medical paradox has emerged. Some nations standing at the top of the milk consumption charts are simultaneously the places with an alarmingly high rate of bone diseases. This variable has struck a heavy blow to the old belief, proving that milk is not the only magic wand deciding the body's toughness. A network of other core elements, such as physical training intensity, genetic codes, and a series of supporting vitamins, also hold vital roles. The modern scientific community fiercely opposes entrusting our health's survival to a single dominant food. In reality, the culinary universe has already laid out countless other excellent alternative paths to harvest the full amount of essential calcium. If you desire to reject cow's milk, turn your gaze to the giant calcium mines hiding everywhere. Dark green vegetables, such as broccoli and kale, are massive mineral-supplying machines. Beans, seeds and grains are also ready to pump calcium into your body. Even ocean creatures, like sardines, hide a massive amount of calcium inside their soft bone structures. Even more groundbreaking, the modern food industry has stepped in to intervene, injecting a rich amount of calcium directly into plant-based milks, right on the production line. All this ironclad evidence confirms you can absolutely build a flawless nutritional diet and a diamond skeleton without touching a single drop of cow's milk. An ultimate truth must be carved deep. The biological machine of every individual is a unique entity. One group of people might feel surging vitality when loading up on milk, while another group finds purification and health when eliminating it completely. When placed under the scientific lens, we realize there is no universal dogma imposed on all of humanity. The golden key to unlock a solid skeleton lies in absorbing a diverse spectrum of foods, maintaining an endless rhythm of physical movement, and knowing how to listen to every beating need from your own body. You do not need to worship milk as a mandatory ritual to own a mighty skeleton. Just a perfect symphony of green vegetables, seeds, and other calcium-rich superfoods is enough to protect your bones flawlessly every single day. Science has sounded a warning bell. Comprehensive balance is the ultimate weapon, not the blind fanaticism for a single type of drink. When you fully grasp these naked truths, you hold the supreme power to make the wisest verdicts, protecting your life and physical strength in a long-term war. Part 5. The war between hormones and skin. Even though countless people still enjoy the taste of milk, a wave of panic is quietly spreading about the biological fallout it scatters into the body. One of the greatest obsessions is the presence of natural hormones inside cow's milk. Naturally, a mother cow produces milk with the sole purpose of feeding her calf. Therefore, this milk is heavily marinated with a large amount of animal hormones. When humanity intervenes and swallows this milk source, they simultaneously pump those biological compounds directly into their bodies. Medical experts have buried their heads in laboratories for years to dissect whether these natural hormones have enough power to forge changes in the human body. For the vast majority of the public, the medical community concludes that the trace amount of hormones in milk is not high enough to ignite severe health disasters. However, there is one biological battlefield where many people instantly feel the devastation: their skin. Countless teenagers and young adults are struggling with the nightmare named acne, the explosion of red inflamed spots on the face, back, or chest. Acne is the inevitable result when the skin is drowned in oil and sebum, and the pores are completely sealed off. Over the past few decades, researchers have relentlessly hunted for the invisible thread connecting dairy products and these dermatological epidemics. A series of clinical reports have pointed out that alien hormones from milk have the ability to trigger the sebaceous glands, forcing the skin to pump out a massive volume of excess oil. When the skin surface is overloaded by oil, it becomes a perfect minefield for spots to rise up. This biochemical reaction does not attack everyone at once, but it is a haunting conclusion, widely recorded by dermatologists. The medical world is currently divided into many schools of thought around this topic. A faction of doctors strongly recommends that patients devastated by acne should try executing a purge, completely banning milk for a few weeks to observe the skin's recovery. If the skin surface truly finds its silence again, that is the death sentence, confirming milk is the mastermind behind all the trouble. Another medical school of thought argues fiercely that the true culprits destroying the skin lie in refined sugar or foods drowning in fat, not just milk alone. They affirm that building our overall healthy nutritional ecosystem carries a more vital meaning than blindly boycotting a single food item. Another shocking truth must be exposed. Not all dairy products are born equal. A series of clinical reports have sounded the alarm that skim milk, the version completely stripped of its rich lipid layer, actually has a tighter link to terrible skin epidemics than whole milk. This is an incredibly complex, dark area of research, because every individual possesses an isolated dermatological ecosystem and food reaction mechanism. Although the presence of hormones in cow's milk is an undeniable truth, the mechanism by which they manipulate and reshape the skin of each individual remains a medical mystery. If you are drowning in the obsession over your degrading skin, the ultimate strategy is to awaken all your senses, to scan your own body. If your intuition tells you that milk is fueling the inflamed acne spots, bravely cut down your intake or step onto different beverage paths. Scientists are still racing against time to fully decode the complex symphony between cow hormones and human skin. But right now, it is entirely a personal expedition to find the health truth for yourself. Part 6. The Era of Plant Milks. In recent years, supermarket aisles have witnessed a spectacular transformation. Now consumers are easily surrounded by countless drinks bearing the appearance of milk, but completely severing ties with the cow species. Experts define them as plant-based milks. Millions of people have defected to these drinks for numerous deep motives. One faction was pushed against the wall by allergic reactions, or their bodies surrender to the lactose sugar in cow's milk. Others raise the flag to protect animal rights, or pour their efforts into saving the ecological environment. The dominant force in this market is extracted from almonds, oats, soy, coconuts, or rice. To birth these drinks, industrial corporations usually apply the technology of soaking the plants deep in water and then ruthlessly grinding them. Next, they push the mixture through a filter system to completely eliminate the solid residue. The final product is a pure white, smooth liquid, possessing the appearance and texture that tricks the eyes, exactly like traditional milk. The most dazzling star in this kingdom is soy milk. It is frequently crowned as the most flawless alternative candidate because of the massive volume of protein it delivers, almost standing equal to cow's milk. This absolute advantage turns it into the ultimate weapon For those who desire to build bulging muscles, but reject all animal dairy products. Almond milk is another highly popular warrior. It created a global fever, thanks to its unbelievably low calorie count. However, the fatal weakness of almond milk is its extremely poor protein content. Recently, oat milk has risen as a global phenomenon, carrying within it a smooth creamy texture and a signature sweetness, making it the perfect lover for every cup of coffee. But there is a harsh truth that must be carved into the mind. Plant milk is never a perfect clone of cow's milk when placed on the nutritional scale. According to the laws of nature, the plant world does not possess the original framework of vitamins or minerals found in animal products. Aware of this fatal flaw, countless manufacturing corporations have had to intervene by pumping a massive amount of calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin B12 into their products. These reinforcing nutrient lines act as a lever, helping plant drinks rise to the same health status as cow's milk. However, a dark side you must be warned about is that many plant milks have been stuffed with a ton of artificial sugar to trick the taste buds. This is a deadly trap that you must be extremely cautious about if you are pursuing a healthy living philosophy. Every coin has two sides, and this beverage kingdom is no exception. On the bright side, they carry absolute purity, completely absent of lactose and cholesterol. They simultaneously open up a universe of diverse flavors and textures for those forced to turn their backs on animal milk. On the dark side, some plant milks are heavily overpriced, and they risk becoming empty shells of vitamins, if not chemically reinforced. When you decide to spend money on plant milk, the wisest action is to flip to the back of the carton and carefully inspect the ingredient list. Hunt down the protein content and verify if the manufacturer truly pumped in extra vitamins. By dissecting and comparing labels, you will personally dictate which drink is the most perfect true love for your body machine and your daily health ambitions. Whether you are obsessed with the flavor of oats, almonds or soy, the modern world has laid out a grand feast of unprecedented free choices. In History, Part 7. The Power of Milk and the Planet's Life. When we place the food sources feeding humanity onto the scale, we are also forced to face the survival of the Earth itself. A wave of questioning is rising strongly from the public. How is the dairy farming industry shaping and destroying the world around us, capturing and exploiting herds of cows for milk? Is a practice rooted since the dawn of time, but the harsh reality is that it is draining a colossal volume of resources to produce enough milk to quench the thirst of millions of consumers. We are forced to sacrifice and plow through mind-bogglingly massive stretches of land. Herds of cows demand giant prairies to graze, and humanity even has to sacrifice a greater land fund just to grow the food that feeds them. This expansion mechanism frequently triggers the massacre of primeval forests, the green lungs that hold vital meaning for the survival of the planet. The water resource crisis is another dark side. To squeeze out a single glass of cow's milk, we must sacrifice a gigantic volume of water, exponentially exceeding the amount needed to refine a glass of plant milk. The picture behind this is that we do not just pump water to quench the thirst of the cattle, but we must also irrigate the corn or soy fields used for animal feed in regions where water is as precious as gold. This craving strikes a fatal blow to the ecosystem. The loophole of atmospheric pollution is also a disaster we cannot ignore. Cows have long carried a bad reputation for their natural burping, but through the climate lens, this is a highly severe, ticking time bomb. During the process, their digestive system crushes food. They release a massive amount of methane gas. Methane is a greenhouse gas, carrying terrifying destructive power. It acts as a wall, trapping the heat inside the atmosphere and directly boiling our planet. Because super dairy farms often imprison hundreds or even thousands of individuals in the same population, they forge giant clouds of toxic gas. The destructive force of this phenomenon on the climate balance far exceeds the imagination of the vast majority. When placing the dairy industry and plant cultivation on the same scale, the disparity appears nakedly. Cultivating fields of oats, almonds or soy to extract milk drains a vastly smaller amount of land and water resources. These vegetation blankets also release a tremendously modest amount of greenhouse gases compared to confining animals. A series of scientific reports have proven with ironclad evidence that a mass exodus away from animal products has the ability to significantly purify the personal carbon footprint of each individual. This warning absolutely does not carry the meaning of forcing all of humanity to completely cut off cow's milk instantly. However, it is a verdict confirming that every choice on our dining table directly scatters life or death consequences onto the surface of nature. In the context of a booming global population, humanity is pushed against the wall to find the solution to the puzzle of feeding everyone without murdering the ecosystem. A pioneering force has proactively stripped away some cow's milk and opened their arms to alternative plant superfoods to save the planet. Another faction is relentlessly hunting for breakthrough technologies to purify and optimize the dairy farming system, awakening to the destructive power of our own choices is the first step toward a sustainable era. Only when we fully grasp the massive volume of water, land fund and giant emissions swallowed behind our food sources can we make verdicts that save both the body machine and the life of the earth. Every single subtle change in our supermarket basket. Part 8. Listening to the subtle voice. from your body. After peeling back the entire truth, we are forced to admit that milk is a highly complex biological subject. For many decades, humanity blindly worshipped it as the solitary path to touch health. Now the veil of ignorance has been lifted, exposing a universe of methods to fully harvest every nutrient the body machine craves. An ultimate truth must be carved deep. Milk is absolutely not a magical elixir with the power to patch up every medical loophole. At the same time, it is not a deadly poison either. Simply put, it is just a type of food that fuels the life force for this group of people, but ravages the operating mechanism of another group. The core of survival is to deeply feel your own biological ego. Every individual is a unique universe. The friends around you might feel surging vitality after draining a glass of cold milk, while you sink into exhaustion or get tortured by twisting pains in your stomach. You carry a supreme mission on your shoulders. You must turn on your alert radar to record every microscopic reaction of your body after absorbing any food source. If you truly immerse yourself in the flavor of milk, and your biological machine runs smoothly, there is absolutely no reason to sever ties with it. It is still excellently completing the mission of pumping in vitamins and minerals, becoming a solid shield, protecting your muscles and bone system. However, if you feel your body breaking down, enduring epidemics on your skin, or simply craving a brand new taste experience, the modern world is showing off a grand feast of alternative paths. You can completely extract calcium and protein from countless other food mines, like beans seeds and green-colored superplants. The supermarket shelves are also wide open, with a series of pure, plant-based milks, locking in a flawless decision. For your health is a highly personal expedition. There is absolutely no monopolistic law capable of being imposed on every life form on Earth. Science only plays the role of handing over data reports. But your actual health condition is the laboratory and the final test. If you are still drowning in the vortex, not knowing the safest harbor for yourself, seek the intervention of medical doctors or nutrition experts. They will provide the decoder to clearly understand your isolated biological needs. Reaching the ultimate truth, owning a healthy life, stems from a balanced, nutritional ecosystem capable of activating endless energy and a feeling of extreme happiness inside you. Bravely throw away the herd mentality or racing after hollow trends. The only thing you need to do is play the role of a guardian, scanning every reaction of your body to the food you load in. If you know how to communicate and listen to your body, you will automatically detect the most flawless nutritional blueprint for your life's trajectory, regardless of whether you decide to rely with cow's milk, immerse yourself in plant solutions, or shift your focus to other calcium-rich superfoods. You are the emperor, holding the scepter of your own life. Eat wisely. Maintain an endless rhythm of physical movement, and only select the food sources with the power to push you to the peak of toughness in every passing day.